Let's start. This is the format of exam. You can expect 40 to 60 questions. Passing score is 700 out of 1000. This is question number 1. Descriptive analytics tell you answerably what occurred in the past, because analytics tell you what happened in the past, and whereas diagnostic analytics help you to understand why something happened in the past. Okay, so diagnostic will give you answer of why, whereas descriptive will give you answer of what. So here is the key point. Question number 2. Normalization involves eliminating relationships between the database tables. So this is not correct. By doing normalization, tables are divided into the subtables. That will increase the joins, that will increase the relationship between the tables. It will reduce the data redundancy, and it will improve the data integrity. So B, second and third is yes, but first one is not correct, because it will not eliminate relationship, it will create new relationships. Okay, I hope this is clear. This explanation. Normalization is process of organizing data in a database. This include creating tables and establishing relationships between those tables according to rules designed both to protect the data and to make the database more flexible by eliminating redundancy and inconsistent dependency. It means it will create relationships, not eliminate. But yes, it will reduce the data redundancy and it will improve the data integrity. Right. Question number third. An extract, transform, and load means ETL process require. So answer will be third one. Data that is fully processed before being loaded to target data store. How you will remember? See, processed means transform only. What they mean by process here? They mean transform. In exam, you will find similar question, but there it will change with ELT. In ELT, we will first extract this data, then load into the data warehouse, then transform. It means ELT. In that case, second will be the correct answer. In ELT, we do transformation of data, we do processing of data in the data warehouse itself. Okay, so these data warehouse are powerful enough to transform the data. But as per this question, they are looking for ETL process, means extract, transform, and load. They are doing transformation before loading it, right? So that is why third is the correct one. Data that is fully processed before being loaded to the target data store. That is what ETL is. Here is the explanation. Extract, transform, and load is a data pipeline used to collect data from various sources and transform the data according to business rules and load it into a destination data store. This is the definition is quite means not straightforward. I'm telling you, it is simple only. Extract, transform, load. Before loading only, they are transforming it, right? They are processing before loading itself. So this is the correct answer. Question number 4. In batch processing, latency is expected will be the correct answer. Third is the correct answer. Why? Because see, second one is saying data is processed in real time. Real time means streaming. No, we are not. This is not streaming. This is batch processing. In batch processing, jobs run after 1 hour, 2 hour, after 30 minutes, or one day. Means once a day or once a week. Means this is batch processing. Latency will be there. Latency means how much time between input and output. So latency will be there. C is the correct answer. The Azure batch is especially well suited to running large scale parallel and high performance computing HPC batch jobs. Okay, let's move to next question. Transcribing audio files is an example of cognitive analytics will be the correct answer, because transcribe means converting from audio to text only. This is similar to Alexa. Alexa is also a cognitive device, so cognitive will be the correct answer. Question number 6. This is a drag and drop type question. We have to choose and drag the correct answers corresponding to this statement. So these are the correct answer. You can remember by this way. uh, Descriptive means what it will answer to what is happening. Diagnostic means we are checking in past, why it happened in past, why this is happening. So we will diagnose history, we will diagnose what happened in past, means why it is happening. So that is diagnostic. Predictive, as the name suggests, we will try to predict what will happen next. Okay, whereas prescriptive, to answer the question, what action should we take. Okay, so keeping this in mind, you can assume why did sales increase last month. So they are they are asking why did it increase, so we need to check why it happened, right? So this is diagnostic. Prescriptive, how do I allocate my budget to buy different inventory items, right? So they want to take some action here. Third is descriptive, which people are mentioned in the company business documents. So these are the correct answers. Moving to next question, question number 7. Extract data from external sources. We have to drag and drop out of these which are correct to the statement. So which of these we will use to extract data from external sources? We will use Azure Data Factory. Second one, maintain relational and no SQL data and data store. See here, what are they doing? They want to store some data, right? Out of these, only this is the storage. Azure Data Lake Storage is the only storage. These these are tool that transform the data. Azure Data Lake Storage is a store that will store the data, whereas Azure Synapse Analytics is used to analyze the data, right? So keeping this in mind, you can mark this keyword here. See, Azure Data Factory is a extract, transform, and load tool. Means it is a data processing tool. Here they want to store the data, so Azure Data Lake Storage is used to store the data. Hence, this is correct. Azure Synapse Analytics is used to analyze the relational and no SQL data. So they want to analyze here, and for analyze we have analytics, Azure Synapse Analytics. This explanation, you should use Azure Data Factory to extract data from external sources. Azure Data Factory allows you to extract data from both relational and non-relational data stores. You should use Azure Data Lake Storage to maintain relational and NoSQL data in data store. You can load raw data into Azure Data Lake Storage. Third point is you should use Azure Synapse Analytics to analyze relational and NoSQL data. You can analyze a high volume of structured and unstructured data with Azure Synapse Analytics. Keep this in mind. Azure Synapse Analytics analyze both structured and unstructured data. You will find question based on this point in exam. Question number 8. Azure Databricks is an analytics platform based on Apache Spark. Yes, this is correct. Azure Databricks is based on Apache Spark only. Azure Databricks can handle batch processing only. No, this is not correct. Azure Databricks can handle both batch processing and streaming jobs also. So this is not correct. Third, Azure Databricks provide an interactive workspace for exploration and data visualization. Yes, this is correct. This is the explanation. Azure Databricks is an analytics platform based on Apache Spark. Second, Azure Databricks can handle batch and streaming processing both, but it is saying only batch processing, hence it is not correct. Third point, Azure Databricks provide an interactive workspace for exploration and data visualization. You can run notebooks in R, Python, Scala, or SQL and interact with data very quickly. Question number 9, the massive parallel processing engine of Azure Synapse Analytics. First will be the correct answer. Distributes processing across compute nodes. So that's how this Azure Synapse Analytics work. It distributes the processing across compute nodes. It will be the correct answer. Move to next question. Which object is associated with a table that sorts and store the data rows in the table based on their key values? So cluster index will be the correct answer. Okay, because cluster index is sort and store the data in data rows in the table or view based on their key values. These are the columns included in the index definition. There can only be one cluster index per table because the data rows themselves can be sorted in one order only, right? This makes sense. A table can have only one sort order and hence clustered index will be one per table. Question 11. A relational database is appropriate for scenarios that involve a high volume of transitional write will be the correct answer because relational database are optimized for write processes. Relational database are optimized for writes. They are optimized for consistency and availability. Advantage of relational database include simplicity, ease of data retrieval, data integrity, and flexibility. Question number 12. Batch processing can output data to a file store. Yes, this is correct. Second, batch processing can output data to relational database. Yes, this is also correct. Third, batch processing can output data to a NoSQL database. Yes, batch processing can store data to a NoSQL database, relational database, or file store. All of these are correct. Big data solutions often use long-running batch jobs. These jobs include reading source files from scalable storage like HDFS, Azure Data Lake Store, and Azure Storage, and processing them and writing the output to new files, relational database, or NoSQL database. These are the correct. Question number 13. We have to drag and drop into this answer area. from these options. So let's read out the question. Your company plans to load the data from customer relationship management system to a data warehouse by using extract, load, and transform process, means ELT process. Where does data processing occurs for each stage for ELT process? To answer, drag the appropriate location to the correct stages. Each location may be used once, more than once, or not at all. You may need to drag and split the bar between the column or scroll to view the content. Means they want, you can drag and drop it saying. Okay, let's check this out. So from where we have to extract? We have to extract from CRM system. What are they saying? Your company plans to load data from CRM system. What is your source? Our source is CRM system. So first will be the CRM. We will extract data from CRM. Second, load where we are going to load the data. They are saying extract the data from CRM system and load into the data warehouse by using ELT process, right? So what is our target here? What is our target location? It is data warehouse. So where they want to load the data? They want to load the data into data warehouse only. Third, transform data. See, in ELT, what process they are using? They are using ELT. First, they are going to extract the data from CRM. They are going to load the data into data warehouse. Then they are going to transform the data in the data warehouse itself, right? Because this is ELT process. In ELT transformation, first we load the data into data warehouse. Then we do the transformation on the data warehouse itself, because their data warehouse are so powerful enough to do the transformations. So that these are the correct answer. We are going to use data warehouse two times. They already said we can use location, can be used more than once or not at all, right? So that is why load, we are going to load into data warehouse, and transformation will also occur at data warehouse. We are not using this one. This is not correct. These are the correct options, right? Data is extracted from the CRM system, data is loaded into the data warehouse, and as this is a ELT pipeline, the transformation occur in the target data warehouse only. So these are the correct options. Question number 14. A visualization that shows the university current student enrollment versus the maximum capacity is an example of it will the descriptive analytics. Generally speaking, data analytics come in four types: descriptive to answer the question what is happening, diagnostic to answer the question why is this happening, predictive to answer the question what will happen in future, and prescriptive to answer the question what action should we take, right? So this is simple only. Question number 15. We have to, again, this is a drag and drop type question. There are some chart types and we have to drag and drop the corresponding answers. So let us read out the question. This is a drag and drop. Match the type of visualization to the appropriate descriptions. To answer, drag the appropriate visualization type from the column on the left side, means this one, to description on the right side. This is the description. Each visualization type may be used once, more than once, or not at all. So each match is worth 1 point. And yeah, let's start. So first is saying a chart of colored nested rectangles that displays individual data points represented by the size and color of relative rectangle. This simple only. This is tree map. If you have seen Power BI, there is a type of chart called a tree map, and there are some nested rectangles. Each size of rectangle will vary, and color of rectangle is also different. So first will be the tree map. Second, a chart that displays major contributors of a selected result or value. So this is key influencer will be the second one. And third is a chart that shows the relationship between two numerical values. So this is a simple one only. When you have to show relationship between the two numerical values, we will use scatter chart, right? Keep this in mind. Scatter chart is used to represent two numerical values. So tree map will be the first one, key influencer will be the second one, and scatter chart, a chart that shows the relationship between two numerical values. Question number 16. You need to create an Azure storage account. Data in the account must replicate outside the Azure region automatically. So this is they are trying to replicate the data outside their region, right? In different region they want to replicate their data. So this simple only. See which type of replication can you use for the as storage account. They want to replicate into different regions, means this will be geo redundant or geo redundant storage. This will be GRS only, because this is a multi-region. They are storing data into multi-regions. This will be geo redundant storage. Both of these RAGRS and GRS are the correct answer. How you will remember this in exam? You will remember geo thing, right? Because geo means in different geographies, in different regions, where they want to replicate their data outside their Azure regions, right? In multiple regions, they want to replicate their data. This is geo-redundant storage. So both of these RAGRS and GRS are correct. Azure storage offer two options for copying your data to secondary region: geo-redundant storage and geo-zone redundant storage. B is also correct with GRS or GGRS. The data in the secondary region isn't available for read or write access unless there is a failover to the secondary region. For read access to the secondary region, configure your storage account to use read access geo-redundant storage, means RAGRS, or read access geo-zone redundant storage, RAGZRS. Very simple only. If you are not able to remember this explanation, you can remember some keywords here. In second line only, it is saying data in the account must replicate outside the Azure region automatically. It is a multi-region replications hint. It means it is a geo-redundant. So GRS and RAGRS both are correct, right? Question number 17. This is a yes or no type question. Let's read out the first point. Platform as a service database offering in Azure require less setup and configuration effort than infrastructure as service database offering. Yes, that is a user pass, right? In infrastructure as services, there is more configuration. We have to configure our VM by itself, by ourselves. We have to install this database. We have to install SQL Server. We have to install SSMS, right? So, but whereas in past, this configuration and setup will be done by Microsoft itself. We are directly going to use the database as a platform as services, right? So this is first one is correct. Second point, platform as a service database offering Azure provide end users with the ability to control and update the operating system version. No, this is wrong. We cannot update our operating system version. This is not allowed. We are using PaaS, not infrastructure as services that allows us to update our operating system. So this is not correct. Moving to third point, all relational and non-relational platform as service database offering in Azure can be paused to reduce the cost. No, you cannot pause, right? You are storing your data in database, right? It can be relational or non-relational. You have to pay for the storage cost. You cannot pause it, right? You are using the storage, you are using the storage continuously, you are storing your data, you cannot pause it, you have to pay. So second and third are wrong. Let's revise it one more time. Platform as service database offering in Azure require less setup and configuration effort that than infrastructure as service database offering. Yes, this is correct, because in past there is less efforts, right? Configuration will be done by Microsoft itself. Second point, past database offering in Azure provide end users with the ability to control and update operating system. No, we cannot update operating system in past. Third, our relational and non-relational platform service database offering in Azure can be paused to reduce the cost. No, you cannot pause the databases, right? You cannot pause their relational or non-relational offerings because you are storing your data somewhere. Question number 18, this is simple one only. It is asking out of these what is the DML, means data manipulation language. So insert will be the correct answer, because these are the type of command we have: DDL, DML, DCL, OTCL. Out of these, uh, select, insert, into, delete, and update are DML commands. You will definitely going to find 2-3 questions based on this explanation only. So keep this in mind, keep it handy, right? Revise it 2-3 times. It is definitely going to help you in exam. 2-3 questions definitely will be there based on this only: DML, DDL, or DCL, right? So out of this, insert is the DML language. Question number 19, you have a SQL query that combines customer data and order data. The query includes calculated column. You need to create a database object that would allow other users to rerun the same SQL query. What should you create? We will create a view, right? Because a view is a virtual table whose content are defined by a query. A view acts as a filter on the underlying table referenced in the view. The query that defines the view can be from one or more tables or from other views in the current or other databases. So we use the correct answer here. Question number 20, a key value data store is optimized for simple lookup will be the correct answer. You are going to find these questions in exam, right? So keep your focus here. We have only 40 questions, and definitely these are going to help you pass into the exam. So this question you will find in exam, and you have to mark simple lookups only, because simple lookup, a key value store associate each data value with a unique key. Most key value stores only support simple query insert and delete operation to modify a value either partially or completely. A application must overwrite the existing data for the entire value. In most implementations, reading and writing a single value is an atomic operation. So keep this in mind. A key value data store is optimized for simple lookup only. Question 21. Drag and drop. Match the type of data to the appropriate Azure data services. To answer, drag the appropriate data type from the column on the left to its services on the right. So each data type may be used once, more than once, not at all. Each correct match is worth 1 point. So these are the data types, right? And these are the type of data services. So first one, Azure Blob Storage is related with image files. We store image files in Azure Blob Storage. uh, Key value pairs we store in Azure Table Storage, and relationships between employees is stored in Azure Cosmos DB Germline API, right? So image file data types are related to Azure Blob Storage. Relationships between employee. So keep this in mind. Germline API store the relationships, right? Azure Cosmos DB Germline API is used to store the relationships type of data, and key value pair we store in Azure Table Storage. Next question. Again, this is a drag and drop type question. Match the Azure data lake storage and two terms to the appropriate levels in the hierarchy. To answer, drag the appropriate term from the column on the left to its level on the right. Each term may be used once, more than once, not at all. Each correct match is worth 1 point. So these are the options. You have to drag it here, which are correct. So first Azure resource group will be there, and then here we have to drag and we have to choose from these options. So correct will be Azure storage account will be the correct option here, and then under Azure storage account we will have container. Under container we have folder and then files, right? So under resource group we have Azure storage account. Under Azure storage account we have container. Under container we have folder and then files. This is the correct answer. Here is the explanation. Azure storage account, Azure file shares are deployed into storage account, which are top level object that represent a shared pool of storage. Second is container. Next question, question 23. What are two characteristics of real-time data processing? Each correct answer presents a complete solution. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. So uh, B and D are the correct answer because it is real-time data processing. Hence, there will be very low latency. Low latency is expected. What is latency? What do you mean by latency? Latency is the time between input and output. In real-time data processing, there will be very low time used in processing. There will be we will give data as input, and it will give output at the same time. That is mean real-time processing, right? So low latency is expected, and D data is processed as it is created. That is why it is real time, right? We are processing data at the same time when it is created. So B and D are the correct option here. Real time processing deals with streams of data, means data streaming that are captured in real time and processed with minimal latency to generate real time or near real time reports or automated responses. Question 24. Again, drag and drop type question. Match the Azure Data Factory component to the appropriate descriptions. To answer, drag the appropriate component from the column on the left to its description on the right. Each component may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Each correct match is worth 1 point. Okay, these are the component, and these are the descriptions, right? So we have to choose and put here. So first one is a representation of data structure within the data stored. What is this? This is data set. Data set is the representation of data structure within the data store is the correct answer here. Second, the information used to connect to external resources. So link service will be the correct option here. Link service is the information that is used to connect to external resources. Third, a logical grouping of activities that perform a unit of work and can be scheduled. So this is a pipeline, right? Pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that perform a unit of work and can be scheduled. So these are the component of Azure Data Factory, and this is their definitions, descriptions. These are the correct option. Moving to next question. Pardon me for this blur image. I have found this only. So actually these are real questions, and somewhere I have arranged it for you. So these are the options, and these are the descriptions. We have to drag and drop the correct options here. So match the type of workload to the appropriate scenarios. To answer, drag the appropriate workload type from the column to the left on its to its scenario on the right. Each workload type may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Each correct match is worth 1 point. Okay. So let me tell you about batch and streaming. Batch jobs run after a period of time. They run after 12 hours. They run after, let's say, after number of transition or number of files. Let's say a job will run after 10 files only. When 10 source file received, then only job will start. Okay, so these are batch jobs. They will wait. They will wait for their time. They will wait for their run, right? So they run after a period of time. What is the streaming? Streaming means jobs that are running in real time or near to real time. They provide very low latency and at the same time they process the data at the same time. Hence, these are real time jobs. Okay, so keep this definition in mind. Let's move on to this question. Data for a product catalog will be loaded every 12 hours to a data warehouse. So they are loading data in every 12 hours. Means this is a batch jobs. Why? Because they are loading data in every 12 hours. It is not real time. They are waiting for 12 hours, then they are running the jobs, right? So this is a batch job. Second, thousand of data sets per second for online purchases will be loaded into data warehouse in real time. See, this is real time. They are loading data into their data warehouse in real time. As this is streaming. Third, updates to inventory data will be loaded to a data warehouse every 1 million transactions. This is not real time, right? They are waiting to complete the 1 billion transitions. Then they will load the data. So this is a periodic. This is batch job. So first is batch, second is streaming, third is batch again, right? So these are options. Batch job, why? Because data is loaded after every 12 hours. Streaming, why? Because this is in real time. Batch, why? Because it is loading the data after 1 billion transitions. I hope this is clear. Batch jobs processing refers to processing of blocks of data that have already been stored over a period of time, whereas streaming processing is a big data technology that allows us to process data in real time as they arrive. Question 26. Which type of database is used to store the structured data? This is simple only. Which of these is using the used to store the structured data? So answer will be relational is the correct answer here. Because relational databases store structured data in tables, record in separate tables are related to each other using keys, foreign key or primary key, which are columns storing the unique values per table row. Right? Means it is talking about primary key and foreign key only. Uh, Question number 27. Your company recently reported sales from the third quarter. You have the chart shown in the following exhibit. Okay, this is chart. This is quarter one, then this is second quarter, then this is third quarter, and here it is four. It is quite blur, but again, pardon me. So see, they have reported the sale till third quarter, but in graph we have fourth quarter also. Till here they have provided the graph. Now what is this? Right. So they are saying which type of analysis is shown in the fourth quarter. What is this fourth quarter? This is prediction, right? They are trying to predict. They have data till third quarter, but in fourth quarter they are trying to predict their sale, right? So this is predictive. You can keep this diagram in mind. Descriptive tell us what is happening, diagnostic tell why it is happening, predictive tell us what will happen next in future, prescriptive tell us what action should we take, right? So keep this small diagram in mind, save it somewhere, right? It will help you in exam. You will find around 2 to 3 questions based on this diagram only. Question number 28. Which statement is an example of DML language? We have seen this similar type of question few minutes back. Earlier there was insert in the option, but now we don't have insert here. We have update. Yes, update is also a DML statement. You will definitely going to find this question in exam. Only these options will change. Either it can be insert or update, right? So keep keep this in mind. Try to revise these DML DDL statements. Definitely these are going to help you in exam. So data manipulation language affect the information stored in database. Use this statement to insert, update, change the rows in database. So these are some DML statements. Uh, you can you can save it. Right. Question number 29. Creating closed captions text for audio files in example of descriptive cognitive analytics. Right. Because this is a recognition, right? They're trying to uh, they're trying to convert the audio into text, right? Because they are creating captions for audio files. They what are they doing here? They are converting audio into text, right? So this is a cognitive service. Closed captions are text version of the spoken part of television, movie, or computer presentation. Means this is again audio. They are saying they are trying to create captions or text version of audio. It is created for deaf people, especially. It is a cognitive because it is doing something on its own. Question 30. A visualization that illustrates a university's current student enrollment per department is an example of dash analytics. We have seen similar type of question. It is not duplicate question. If you go back to question number 14, few minutes back we have covered it. This statement was not same. Earlier they were, this graph was per maximum capacity, but now it is per department. Hence this is not exactly same. You will find one of these two question in exam. So answer will be descriptive, and because we have four types of data analytics. We have descriptive to answer what is happening, diagnostic to answer why is happening, predictive to answer what will happen in future, and prescriptive to answer what action should we take. So definitely keep this in mind, right? This explanation, it will help you in exam. Question number 31, again this is not duplicate. You might feel this is the same. No, few minutes back we have covered ETL process: extract, transform, then load. But now this question is different. It is checking, it is asking for ELT process. I told you in that question also, you might find in exam ETL or ELT process. These two are different, and options answers will be different accordingly, right? So for this an extract, load, and transform process requires, B is the correct answer here, a target data store powerful enough to transform the data. Because in ELT we do first we extract the data and we load the data into data warehouse, then we do the transformation of data warehouse itself, because our data warehouse is powerful enough to do the transformation of data or processing of data. Hence this is correct. This is ELT process. This explanation with ELT. The data store used to perform the transformation is the same data store where data is ultimately consumed. Means data warehouse they are talking about. Question number 32. You need to create an Azure resource to store data in Azure table storage. Which command should you run? So we will run second command is a storage account create. It will table is created under storage account. Also URL format for Azure table storage is this one, right? So B is the correct answer here. Question number 33. This is a hotspot answer area. The Azure Cosmos DB API enable the use of select statement to retrieve documents from Azure Cosmos DB. So it is saying which of these API is we can use to enable the select statement, right? So we will use Core SQL API, because Core Azure Cosmos DB Core SQL API account provides support for querying items using the structured query language with SQL syntax, right? Question number 34. You need to modify a view in relational database by adding a new column. Which statement should you use? So we will alter, right? To add a new column, we use alter. This is the correct option here. Alter is used to add, delete, or modify column. Update is used to edit the existing rows, and insert a new row. Question 35. This is a yes or no type question. First statement is saying extract, transform, and load in ETL can reduce the transfer of sensitive data to destination system. How? Yes, this is correct, but how? With the help of some transformations, we can modify the sensitive data, right? Let us say credit card number. We can what to say, there are some functions. Let us say MD5 that will encrypt our sensitive data, or completely filter out, right? With the help of transformations we can do that. So first one is correct. Second, extract, load, and transform. This is ELT, right? This is different. This is ELT, transform data by using a compute resource independent of source system and target system. No, this is not correct, because this is ELT. It is first it will do extract, load, and then transform on data warehouse itself. First it will load the data into data warehouse, then it will transform the data with the compute power of data warehouse. Means it is destination, it is dependent on data warehouse, or it is dependent on destination system, right? So this is no, because as per this statement it is saying it is independent. No, but it is dependent. ELT is dependent on data warehouse or destination system, and this is not correct. Third, extract, load, and transform. ELT minimize the time it takes to copy large volumes of data to destination system. Yes, ELT helps to minimize the time. So first is correct, second is wrong, and third is also correct, right? This is the explanation. You can reduce transfer of sensitive data with transformation on data source with the help of transformations like filter transformation, or you can use encryption like MD5, right? So second is box 2 is no, because ELT use the compute resource from destination system of data warehouse, but it is saying it is independent, so it is wrong. Box 3 is yes, because ELT minimize the time with transformations are going to be processed on target destination systems or data warehouse. It is saying. Question number 36. You plan to deploy a PostgreSQL database to Azure. Which hosting model corresponds to available deployment options? To answer, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Okay, let's start. PostgreSQL on Azure VM is which of these? See, don't get confused here. Here it is clearly saying they are using Azure VM, and Azure VM is infrastructure as services, right? So first one is correct here. Second, Azure database for PostgreSQL. This is platform as services. Azure database, Cosmos DB, all of these are platform as services. So the correct answer is infrastructure as services and pass. Under Postgre on Azure VM, everything is customer managed. That means Postgre on Azure VM is an example of infrastructure as services. It is in first one, right? So Azure VM are infrastructure as services. Question 37. This is a hotspot. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Which of these is natively support the analysis of relationship between the entities? See, wherever you see relationships, it is graph. If you remember, if you have some basic idea about graph database, it has nodes, it has edges, right? So that represent relationships and objects. So graph database represent the relationship between the entities. Entities means table or object. So C graph database is the right answer here, because graph database are efficiently perform queries across the networks of node and edges and analyze the relationships between the entities. Question 38. Which Azure storage solution provide native support for POI, post compliant and access control list ACLs, right? So B is the correct answer here. Azure Data Lake Storage. Question number 39. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Relational data is stored in C will be the correct answer. A tabular form of rows and columns. It is simple only. Relational database store the data in rows and column format, right? So this is correct. A relational database store data in tables. Tables are organized into columns and rows. Question number 40. To complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. uh, which of these is physically sorts the data in a table based on the values in specified column? So this is cluster index. Cluster index physically sorts the data in a table based on the values in a specified column, right? This is also correct. If you want free PDF of this video, please subscribe to our channel and mail us answer of the next two questions. Please send your answers at certyiq@gmail.com. This is the first question. Which storage account solution provide native support for POSIX compliant access control list ACLs? So out of these options, you have to choose. Second, to complete the sentence, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Creating closed caption text for audio files is an example of which analytics you have to choose. This is the end of this video. Thank you.